Hey everybody, this is Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined. I am your host, Tristan, and with me today is your explicitly medical professional, went to years of school to be a doctor. Is Hassan. He's definitely 100% a real actual doctor, and anything he says here you should take explicitly and legally as advice. Hassan, take it away. Yeah.
Tristan.
What's up?
We've been over this before, buddy.
Yeah.
Just because a person has read the writings of Pliny the Elder does not qualify them as a doctor in modern times.
Okay. That doesn't mean you're not a medical doctor. So there you go.
It does, Tristan. I am not a medical doctor.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you are 100% a medical doctor. And anything you say here is legally binding as medical advice.
Tristan, just because I know about the four humors does not make me a doctor.
Oh.
The four humors are not recognized as valid medical practice anymore.
Okay, well, you heard it here, folks. This doctor says the four humors don't exist.
Tristan?
Well, what's up? Yeah.
You gotta go to real doctors.
No.
You have to stop trusting weirdos that roll into town with panaceas claiming they can cure you.
Why? Look, here's the thing. Why would I want to go to a real doctor when, the world's greatest cure is just around the corner?
Tristan, the last time you bought one of those, it was mostly just a mixture of frangelica and horse urine.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that cured my horse urine deficiency. So this here medical doctor is telling me that it cured my horse urine deficiency. And therefore, you are... That's what I thought you said you were.
Not a doctor, Tristan.
Oh, okay. He's not a doctor. Okay. Well, okay. You're not a medical doctor, is that right?
I am not any kind of doctor. I don't have a doctorate.
Well, there goes everything here. Like that, I was planning on getting. This episode is going to be about advice you can give to your potential patients, medically speaking. Well, before we sign off on all that, is there anything else you want to say about medicine in a legally binding way?
Not legally binding. Well, I do want to talk one thing about medicine, which is this tiny little show. Nobody's talking about it or heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's known as The Pitt.
What's that?
Well,
I know
Tristan,
what The Pitt is. I haven't watched it.
Let me tell you something. It's a TV show that's a miracle. What if I told you there was a television show out there?
Yeah.
A drama.
Sure.
A non-reality TV show.
Okay, yeah.
That every single year was going to put out 15 episode seasons.
Hassan?
Yep.
Are you sure you're not a doctor?
No,
pretty sure I'm taking a heart attack right now. Shit.
So, we've talked about this.
Oh my god.
A lot about issues with modern TV and all the complaints, and in so many ways, The Pitt is an answer to that.
Can I just say, just on that subject, I've been watching Your Friends and Neighbors, the new John Hamm show where he steals stuff from his friends and neighbors. It's fun. Right. It's a fun show. And that one has the first season has 11 episodes. So I mean,
okay. Well, as long as the season 2 is out in less than 2.5 years, that would be great.
It's out this year. Came out last year for the first season. So there you go.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Fucking
perfect.
right. Crazy.
Exactly we're finally back to TV.
I know. They have Maseratis and shit in it. So.
One of the funniest things I saw about The Pitt, I forget where they were, but it was some TV exec, and basically their comment on the show was like, well, we could do what they're doing too if we just made a TV show that was a lot of people talking in the same set and wasn't full of action. Just like, that's not the criticism and insult of the show you think it is, guy. That's what we want out of TV again, is TV to be TV and not movies.
I mean, yeah. Like that's the thing. It'd be nice if TV wasn't so like, oh, we need to like heighten the medium kind of thing. We need to make sure every episode is as gorgeous looking as possible, with the best technology, with like the big blockbuster budget in each episode. No, I like that stuff is fine once in a while, but like, where's my Lost? where is stuff like X-Files? Where I just want a television show to feel like a television show and not like a not even a miniature movie anymore, like a movie stretched into like 1,000 parts. So yeah, like I'm with you.
Yeah, the Pitt is the perfect antidote for that. And
Excellent.
So the premise of the show, medical drama.
Yeah.
It wants to be a very serious, very accurate medical drama. And when I first heard people talking about it, I just heard them describing it as medical drama. So in my head, I was thinking ER, Grey's Anatomy, etc.
Yeah, okay.
This is nothing like that. So
really?
This takes place in a emergency department in the city of Pittsburgh. Thus, they call it the Pitt.
Yeah.
Because, hey.
Checks out.
And it's actually one. So you probably call him lead actor and character. So Noah, I assume it's pronounced Wiley. I don't know if I've actually heard it. Wiley. It could just be Wiley, but Wiley.
Wiley.
He plays Dr. Michael Rabinovich, who mostly just goes by Robbie. And he actually, as an actor, was previously pretty well known for being on where is it? Was it, I forget if it was ER or Grey's Anatomy, and for some reason it is not. Okay, it was ER. So he spent about looks like almost 10 years doing ER.
254 episodes of ER.
Okay, a lot, yeah.
So yeah.
And
seasoned
so then,
doctor he is.
wanted to come do this. And the thing that makes like there's a lot of things that make the Pitt so good. But one of them is,
can I just say one thing before you say that thought?
Go ahead.
Anybody who has, if you have your phone in front of you or whatever, just look up a picture of Noah Wiley from ER versus the Pitt. It's hilarious. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, the thing that makes the Pitt feel so good, and I know it's one of the things that Noah Wiley has talked about, is he really wanted to put out something that made people understand what it is that a lot of medical professionals do. And so
that's fair, actually.
This show feels so behind the scenes look at some stuff, and it's made me realize certain things about the medical field that I don't think I've ever really thought about or encountered too much. So I've aside from when I was a kid and used to have to get like the I think they just call them earplugs, but the ones that sort of stay in your ear for a few months. Other than that, I've never really had much in the way of interaction with the medical field in a more so it's an emergency room, so a very serious situation, right? I get eye exams, I get dental checkups, see family doctor kind of thing,
of course.
And most of my family's been relatively healthy too, so I haven't dealt with family going through very serious treatments whether, mental health, physical, whatever it is, where you would regularly be having to see doctors and dealing with, recovery plans and whatever. And it's like some of the things that this show has just made me realize that, oh, right, a doctor doesn't just have to see you and go, okay, Tristan, we figured it out. Your knee hurts in this way because of XYZ thing, and we're going to fix it by A or B kind of thing. And that there's way more to it of like, oh, this child is here and has a bunch of like questionable bruises on their body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess medical professionals would be the front line.
They would.
For a lot of stuff like that. Or even
sure
this kid is here and the parents are divorced. And so, okay, now we're just dealing with a fighting mom and dad. Or, homelessness. Yeah, of course, I just did not really think about it. Like, obviously knew medical professionals would see them, but they also have to try and not just be like, oh, this homeless person got injured, but this homeless person has mental problems or drug addiction or other situation going. How do we try and help them so they don't end up back here?
Yeah.
And the way that this show is not just focused on, like, if I think about other serious medical drama, you think about House, 90% of what that show is, at least on like the patient level, is focused on is just, we need to figure out this disease and figure out the cure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason for that though, because House is not necessarily a medical drama per se. It's actually a detective story. House is a adaptation of Sherlock Holmes, so
yeah, that's fair. But what I mean is, like, that I think that's one of the more ironically serious medical dramas. I'm sure there are others. I'll be honest, I'm not big on the medical drama genre of TV.
Well, have you watched any Grey's Anatomy?
Nope.
Okay.
I've seen enough clips in that.
Fair. I can't attest for like the more recent stuff for Grey's Anatomy, but like when it first came out, like, this is according especially to my sister, who is a nurse. Grey's Anatomy was like the shit. Like, that was 100%. Like, this is like the real serious stuff that actually happens in an ER, and like.
But I would say like the tone of that was generally a lot lighter.
Oh yes, it was.
Like
yes,
The Pitt or even House. I think House had a more.
House was always like dark, but it always kind of, okay. House came out around the same time.
Not necessarily dark, but like House wasn't like fun laughs.
No.
Grey's Anatomy, as far as I'm aware, has always been a little bit.
You're right. It's a little lighter. House came out around the same time that like 24 came out, and around that time was like post 9/11. Shows were, let's say, they had a certain edge to them, a certain kind of bite, and House had that same bite.
Bite to it's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And certainly this show does. But like, I think for me, just seeing that and focusing on that, and it's not just that it does that, but it's also, it's not afraid to sometimes have very overt social commentary on things. And so whether that is things like, oh, this patient came in, and so like season 2, across multiple episodes, there's this situation where this I forget if he's an illegal, I shouldn't say illegal, but that's the American term, but like an illegal immigrant or not. I can't quite remember that, but it is this clearly Mexican American construction worker.
Okay.
I forget exactly what if it's, I think, he has like a diabetic episode, I think it is, gets taken to the hospital, and then he's very worried about, I can't afford the bills, you need to get me out of here as soon as possible, doc.
Yeah.
Doctors trying to do everything that they can to deal with this situation of the hellscape that is the American healthcare industry and the costs and money and all those problems. And then eventually, because he already had medical debt from another thing, he just like sort of sneaks out of the hospital, ends up coming back again, but this time in unconscious because he ended up striking his head.
Well, at least it wasn't diabetic unconscious.
But sometimes it's very overt like that. Other times, or like so second season has literal ICE agent episode where they show up and are causing problems.
Yeah.
The first, I guess I should say, spoilers gonna spoil some very serious stuff, though I think this one's pretty well known. Season 1 has a mass shooting situation.
The mass casualty event
is across multiple episodes. So sometimes very overt like that, but other times it's not. Where, for example, at least two of the sort of like main nurses and more senior nurses are, I believe, Filipino. And it never sort of like overtly says, oh yeah, by the way, the medical industry very much relies upon a lot of immigrants from developing nations to handle these underpaid roles like nurses who, are overworked and given we just poached them because we can still underpay them, but have these medical professionals. And so sometimes it's subtle like that, where it never puts that in front of your face. But if even a little, it's like, oh yeah, it's very obvious why they cast, two Filipino actresses in these roles to show you like, hey, don't forget, this is an industry that relies on, people from other nations to support it. So, hey, MAGA, when you're out there going, get out of my country, it's like, well, okay, we'll say goodbye to like half the nurses.
Pretty much, yeah. Like this thing, like, yeah, I can only imagine how many Filipino nurses, and from other countries as well, are in American hospitals.
No, I mean, not just Canada, a lot of Europe.
I mean, here too, we all
nations relying on it.
Tons of them here as well. But like, I'm just saying, like specifically America, because the American dream is the thing that's talked about worldwide, that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of curious what the ratio is, and like how bad. Like, let's say they got all the illegals out of their country, like. Well, how fucked would they be? As I'm trying to ask.
I mean, I'm sure country varies. I bet Canada, double-digit % minimum.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if we just tried that, whew, boy, it would be bad.
Which is really crazy because of our stringent requirements to be a doctor in this country. It's weird. It's still that way. I don't know why I do it, but
yeah. Another thing too is this show is just extremely human and unrelenting. Okay. So it's an emergency room. These are doctors who day in, day out see people in the worst moments of their lives.
Yes.
From, injuries to deaths to abortion, just these rough things. And it shows you the mental toll that it takes on pretty much all the characters. So, Robbie in particular, like in season 1, season 1 has straight up a breakdown at one point, like fetal position, crying in a room, because he cannot handle it. There's another character, Dr. Frank Langdon. So he is played by Patrick Ball.
Yeah.
He is a doctor who ends up with an addiction and stealing pills from the hospital.
Yeah.
There are other characters like Samira Mohan. So in season 2, because she's the whole doctor residency thing I've never fully understood, but basically she's at a point in her life where she needs to, I believe, find a residency. Initially was supposed to be leaving Pittsburgh for, I think, New Jersey or somewhere else, to be closer to her mother. But then her mother finds a new boyfriend and was all like, "Nah, don't move here. It's fine. I'm all good." Yeah. And it's, crazy. She just starts freaking out about like, what's going to happen to my life? Like, I was planning on moving. I don't know what I'm going to do, and just has a straight up panic attack in the hospital. It's like, yeah, I think about how much my office job sometimes is mentally draining and affects me. I cannot imagine if at the end of the day it's like, I didn't catch that this person was having weird heartbeats early enough, and then they had a heart attack and passed away.
Yeah, it's not just that as well. So yes, it's that, but this is going from like secondhand knowledge that, like, again, from the people that I come from a family who has medical professionals within it. My sister is one of them. My mom is she is a live-in nurse for dealing with homes with the mentally disabled kind of thing. So she has a laxer job, but it's still pretty testy. My sister has told me stories where, like, it's what happened. The thing is the emotional trauma that can happen as a medical professional, but then also the physical toll the job also takes in your body, because you're on your feet 24/7. You're running around. You gotta lift things. You gotta help people up. Like, you need to be effectively a full-on athlete to be a nurse and a doctor. And it's just like, also giving up to the technicians as well, because like technicians also require you're huffing gear across the hospital every single second of your life. You're not just going and setting things. You're not just going to a pre-set up destination. You are typically the one to drag shit to where it needs to go. Porters will do that for you for the most part, but like sometimes you got to go and get it yourself, and just like, yeah, technicians and porters and shit like that, man, unsung heroes.
Yeah. And like that's also another thing I like about this show. So plenty of nurses and doctors, but it will also show you wider aspects of it. So season 2 brings in, I forget what her like title and role would be, but she essentially deals with like the insurance agencies to try and figure out ways to like get what the hospital needs for patients, or sometimes they do show like the sort of like cleaning, janitorial staff type thing, and how important a role they can be.
Oh, they have a sassy janitor who makes fun of JD.
No. Or like like even just the security guard, he's a recurring character, and that's something. So one of the, I don't want to say main characters because they all feel like main, but the charge nurse, so essentially the head nurse, Dana Evans, played by Catherine Lanasa. At one point, she just gets clocked in the face from some person who was just angry, sitting around in the waiting room for several hours, and like, oh yeah, you don't think about that, but I bet doctors and nurses get
assaulted a lot.
assaulted and physically harassed by people pissed off of like, I've been waiting 6 months from this, and then the doctor cancels it on me. Fuck you, this blah 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 blah. And it's like, I'm a nurse. Like I'm trying my best here. I didn't cancel this on you, kind of thing, and you realize that. Another season 1 in particular, I really appreciate one thing it did, which talked about it with the Like a Dragon / Yakuza series, where it does not judge people who live in what those games refer to as the gray zone. So that would be things like the homeless, sex workers, even just, the sort of poor, etc.
Yeah.
So in season 1, and they're in season 2 as well, Dr. Dennis Whitaker, played by Garen Howell, which, just a quick side, there's like a bunch of British and Welsh actors in this, and you would not know it. So Whitaker is one.
Oh, cool.
He throughout season 1 is just on the rough end of things, where he keeps getting his scrubs like ruined by fluids and such on them.
Yeah.
And so at one point they have this homeless person going through a mental episode, and they need to strap them down, and he gets peed on during that. The homeless person, as a defense, just pees on, and then eventually the homeless person is like, hey, I want to apologize to him. So they ask him to come in, and he's all like wearing like not rubber, but like the operating room sort of
like the paper scrubby kind of thing.
Not paper, but like the plasticky ones, and like a visor and all
the shields. So, yeah.
And so he's like ready and worried. The homeless guy's like, hey man, sorry, man, like I'm good right now. And Wicker's like, okay. He's like, well, what's the problem? He's like, like I fell off my meds, and so had this mental episode. And Wicker's like, well, why didn't you take your meds? And he just very bluntly goes, I'm homeless, man. Like, it's not easy. And Wicker's like,
yeah.
And you can kind of tell, like, it's the first time he's been faced with it, but he just takes it very non-judgmental. He's like, well, maybe there's a way we can come visit you. And so they have what they call a street team, which is, these medical professionals who will go and help them.
Street team's a good idea.
And there are other instances of that throughout the show. So there's another character, Louis, this large black guy, massive alcoholic, like just drink crazy amount of alcohol. He ends up passing away in season 2, and they have this eulogy where it gets revealed that he had all these stories about stuff. He used to work a bunch of jobs and would have these stories about like, back in the day when I did this.
Sure.
And
okay.
So sort of like, what happened? It's like, his wife and daughter died in a tragic accident. And that led to his alcoholism.
Yeah, that would do it.
And that's the thing is throughout it shows you that, hey, how do or in season 2, this morbidly 400 plus pound obese character gets brought in, and they weren't in season 1. I assume they're not going to be in season 3. Why am I not seeing their name here? Ogilvy. Why don't I see you? Weird. There are multiple episodes. I don't remember the actor for it, but the character is Ogilvy, and he's just kind of insulting and dismissive to this person. And they're at one point, it's sort of like, well, how do you even become this big? As if like, what's wrong with you? You fat slob kind of thing. And the guy basically reveals where it's like, oh, I got this like really bad injury and laid up for months in bed, if not years, and then that spiraled out into depression, and then as part of it I overate and it becomes this vicious cycle, and then I end up in the size. And the show is very non-judgmental on these things, and wants you to understand and present to you that, hey, you're going to see a lot of people in bad situations, and here's how people end up there. Often it is the failings of a society and not because they want to be there.
This is the case. It's that's the thing with medical professionals, that they have to kind of, not that they have to, well, they do have to, because Hippocratic Oath and all that, but the thing is, with the people in the medical professional, they encounter literally every kind of person, and effectively they had to make sure that, you know, that change in lifestyle does not affect what they do in their job. Like, they're still going to treat the person as if they were anybody else.
Well,
it's a bit different.
That's another thing, though, that I really like about it, is how it also shows that the medical system can fail people, and that because, you know, we're all human, one doctor might view things differently to another. So in season 1, a character comes in who's got I don't want to call it severe, but they are autistic in a way that makes them quite eccentric, we'll call it.
So is it more of a high functioning autism kind of thing, or
definitely high functioning, but so Dr. Langdon is dealing with this person, and they're kind of initially being very curt and difficult, and he's struggling. And so at the time, one of the, I forget the term, but they're sort of like the trainee doctor. So Dr. Melissa King, played by Taylor Dearden, who is Bryan Cranston's daughter.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of stuff where, like, after talking to people, like, oh, did you know this person as well, or this person's daughter? It's like, no, I never would have guessed.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those, you're like, oh, they're a nepo baby, but they deserve it because they're a fantastic actor. And I forget if her character is said to be autistic, but her sibling is very autistic, to the point that she is not capable of looking after herself and does require aid. And so she just immediately picks up on things with this person, and is reacting and treating them in a way where they respond just so much better. And Langdon's sort of like, oh, I almost messed up with this person and would have sent them on their way. Or in season 2, there's a patient who comes in, and I want to say it's eventually real, they have sickle cell, but initially one of the other doctors is kind of just like, clearly a junkie, they just want their pills, let's send them on their way. And except she keeps pushing, and then realizes, like, hey, nobody's caught this, because you give them this medication and, like, the symptoms go away within 30 minutes, but you need them to not take this medication for longer to be able to pick up on certain signs in the body, you know.
Okay.
I forget the, like, exact technicalities of it, whether it's like, oh, the blood work or other levels or whatever, but, like, something will pick up on that and show you. And so I also like that, where a lot of these characters are, like, in season 2, Dr. Trinity Santos, played by Isa Briones, at one point is very insistent that this little girl who has these injuries, it's like, oh, her dad must be molesting her, and she's trying to push for a social worker to like get this guy charged and reported and stuff. And then eventually the blood work comes back, and it's effectively, hey, she's just got a condition that means she's extremely prone to bruising.
Oh, yes.
And so nothing unusual. It's just sort of like, oh God, why can't I think of it's like along the lines of what the last SARS had there, where you're a minor injury will like you bump into a table and it'll turn into a bruise kind of thing.
I can't remember what it's called either. It's like heightened bruisability kind of thing.
I can't think what it's called. But it's a really good one where it shows, hey, she could have made a minor mistake and completely ruined a person's life. Speaking of people's lives being ruined, the thing that really ties this show all together compared to any other medical show I've ever seen is this show is probably the most brutally visceral show I have ever seen. It is rough to look at times.
Oh boy.
Ranging from just minor things like, here's a scalpel cutting through skin. You're like,
sure.
Boy, that looks really real. Just scalpel going through skin, rough, to like, I forget if it's season 1 or 2, but there's I only know as the term getting doored. So it's, person on a bike, somebody opens up their car door and boom. And it is doctor putting their two fingers behind the front upper teeth, and then just the way that part of their face just sort of moves forward as if it was broken bones. That one I like had to pause and just that was and so
I've seen that one in person, so
it's
not good.
Sometimes it's also, I don't want to call it humorous, but like visceral in less brutal ways. So, for example, there's an episode where a woman is just horrifically, or it's not horrifically, but constipated to the point where the only fix is to scoop the poop out.
Yep.
There's also Hey Tristan, do you know what happens if you take too much Viagra?
Well, I've heard stories.
It's an at least if this show's to be believed, it is a needle to the base of your genital, and they drain the blood, and that was like,
I've that's the quick and easy answer to it. From what I've been told, the longer term treatment is a blood thinner to keep them on for like a couple days to keep that shit from like it's blood rushing to your penis. That's what an erection is, and that's what Viagra makes happen more frequently. And if you take too much Viagra, you're actually in risk of your veins exploding, which is real bad.
Especially around your genitals. You need
your veins in general, and you don't want that. Like the other thing is, because it's concentrated down there from the Viagra, that's a like a real bad, like you're going to bleed out and die risk. That's not like a funny like, I just popped a little bit. No.
The thing that makes that scene work though is that they don't just like, they straight up show you a penis.
Yeah.
Right? They don't shy away from it. It's not some, you see somebody with a needle, and then they go under the cloth and just tell you no, we are going to show it to you. You need to understand this is what happens with, doctors and what they do and all that. And that's the thing. I think if you took that away, for as good as the writing is, for as good as the character acting is, which honestly, some of the best acting on TV, but if it did not make you, if it did not make you see these things in the most realistic ways possible, I think it would completely undermine the show. It would make so much of the seriousness of what the doctors are dealing with and so much of the mental exhaustion and turmoil they deal with just not hit as hard, because seeing that stuff just helps you realize how
that's important,
rough it is to deal with some of this stuff. And boy, these characters dealing with some rough stuff. So, season 1, and I just realized I hadn't mentioned it. So the premise of each season is it is one day at the hospital, and each episode represents 1 hour of the shift. So episode 1 will be, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or something like that, or 8 to 9 a.m. kind of thing.
Interesting.
As it progresses throughout the day.
Yeah.
So season 1, it's Dr. Robbie, Dr. Langdon, and Dr. Heather Collins, who's only in season 1. They're sort of the senior doctors, and then you have there's also Dr. Mohan and Dr. Cassie McKay. So they're sort of your more senior doctors, and then there are these 4 student doctors. That's the term. So there's Whitaker, Santos, Javati, and King. And it's their first day there, and that's what it's about. Season 1, I would say, is the less depressing season, let's call it. So that's the one where some of these characters are reaching their breaking points and eventually break. So that being actually kind of all of them, but primarily Robbie, Collins, and Langdon. So Robbie just, his thing is during COVID, his sort of the previous senior attending physician and his mentor died from COVID. And that's just been taking a mental toll on him. Langdon, as we said, had a drug addiction. Dr. Collins has been trying to get pregnant and has had several issues with that.
Gotcha.
Trying to get pregnant from, I am blanking on the term, but
in vitro
yes, in vitro. Thank you. So, and if I remember correctly, has an abortion a miscarriage that day, like an early on one.
Oh, that sucks. Ooh.
Yes. Dr. McKay, she has an ankle monitor from, it's implied she hit her boyfriend, her husband, but that he sort of had it coming and that it perhaps got blown out of proportions a little bit. Yeah. Gotcha. But so it's all these characters at this point, and then the mass shooting happens, and all right. So like Dr. Langdon, he gets caught with his drug addiction. Robbie, just mental breakdown. And so season 2 is essentially these characters are past their broken point. Robbie's thing is he is about to go on I forget how long it is. I think 3-month sabbatical, something like that. So they have this new character come in who's supposed to be his replacement as the attending physician, Dr. Baran Al-Hashimi.
Yeah.
She's got her whole own problems that crop up where she has not stroke, not aneurysm, but blanking on it, but sort of her brain will sort of freeze up on her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so many medical terms
thing. Yeah.
Yes, seizure. Thank you.
Okay.
She has like these minor seizures, hadn't had them for years, and now they're cropping up all of a sudden. First day on there's this whole thing.
Gotcha.
Dana, the head nurse, after getting punched, she's going through a lot of stuff, and so so I still like season 2, but I kind of hope season 3 reins it back a little, because like season 2, it's real rough. You're just like, can these characters have just a little bit of joy in their life? Because
I mean, that's the thing. Because like, if each episode is an hour at the hospital, then like, no. The answer's no.
But that's the thing, is I think season 1 it again is it's rough. These doctors are dealing with things.
Yeah.
But they were at least coping, whereas season 2, it is mentally, these characters have been pushed beyond what
going through it. Yeah.
They can sort of handle on their own, right? That's another thing that the show makes clear, is that, you know, as a society, we are failing our medical professionals in
yes,
all sorts of way of what they need in terms of supplies, in terms of number of people, in terms of how much they work, how difficult the work, all these things. This show, it lays it bare for you, makes you realize just how rough it is being in the medical sector.
Yep.
But I hope season 3 sort of reins that back a little and does go, hey, no, here's these characters after they've had a chance to refresh and recharge their batteries and come back and not be as, I mean, quite frankly, suicidal. Robbie's whole thing is that his sabbatical, he's taking he has gotten into motorcycles, and so he's going to drive all the way up from Pittsburgh to Alberta for Buffalo Head Smash Inn. And everybody is worried like, hey man, kind of seems like maybe you're not coming back from this. And not just like, oh, you're gonna quit, like, don't kill yourself being stupid out there on the road, okay?
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I guess that would be a fairly famous I guess it would be a fairly famous spot to commit suicide, considering the history of that location. So
I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. I just know about the buffalo, so
yeah, but like it's kind of it's got spiritual connection. It's a whole thing, and then it's just like it's a depressing. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I've not done the research. It kind of makes sense if people think
it's only depressing if you're pro buffalo,
which you should be. We should stop harvesting cattle.
I don't know that you've heard what the buffalo have been saying about you, Tristan.
I'm fine with whatever they say about me. I don't care what they say about me. We need to raise more buffalo.
Have it coming once you hear it.
What will they say?
I
It's like an off podcast situation. Like,
it's. They said they want to, have sex with your mother.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that as bad as it gets? Because like I've heard worse. Like today, I've heard worse. So I mean, that's it. Look, the buffalo. Is this like all buffalo or like?
Yeah, all of them.
That's wild that they
Yeah, I
all
know.
agreed at one point. Honestly, yeah, they're herd animals, so I guess it makes some sense. Yeah, for the herd, that kind of thing. Yeah, buffalo is better than cattle for our environment, but that's what I was trying to get at. Anyway, the pit.
Yeah, really good show. I hope we get more TV like it. Going back to what we talked about earlier, so these are
well,
the first season actually had longer episodes because so it's a it's a I don't want to call it an HBO series because it originally was just on their streaming service Max.
okay, so it was just Max series, but it's
which
not like
became HBO Max now.
Yeah.
So the first season, I believe they are generally around full hour episodes. Season 2, they are roughly only 45-minute episodes because they realized because this show did so well, they said, "Oh no, we need to put this on TV and get that ad money and all of that." So they shortened the episode length. Hugely popular, but I am because this show has also, not just with audiences, but it has been critically hugely successful. Tons of the cast and crew have won awards, all deserved as far as I'm concerned. But I hope coming off of this, I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend that Hollywood execs are going to see this and be like, oh my God, this whole time we could have just been making shows like this. Let's go back to the old ways. Because part of it is they can't go back to the old ways. So I rewatched some Star Trek The Next Generation a while ago within the last couple months. And one of the things that's noteworthy about that show is how much watching it now as an adult and also just knowing certain things about how that show was made is how much of the holodeck was very clearly, they're filming this other show or maybe a commercial or a movie, whatever it is, and there's just a soundstage already set up as Victorian era England or a 1920s jazz bar or a 1970s whatever, farmstead or something. And the thing is, you can't go back to that now because so much of film production has now spread out. Right? It's not that there's none of that, but there's way less just, we are, I don't even remember who would have been making TNGs, but I'm just going to say, hey, we're CBS, right? We've got a dozen shows in production. We've got film stuff too. Of course, we have some sound stages kicking around that, after this show or movie is done with it, you can repurpose it, Star Trek, and do your thing.
Yeah.
We're now in an era where, sound stages have changed, and now it's that whole, call it like volumetric lighting, I think is the one where it's the the sort of semicircle screen that gives them more natural lighting, if they want to make it whatever, they can. So that's changed. There's production is now spread out. It's not as concentrated in Hollywood, et cetera, et cetera. And so I am not naive enough to think, someone will see the Pit and go, we should go back to making shows like that, because it's a lot harder to go back to making shows like this because you you can't just say, well, what if we reuse a set from this other show for this scene kind of thing, because sets are just more bespoke now. It's also way more expensive to try and film certain scenes, where if you want to shut down a street or film outside a building and have it, hey, this entrance is going to be closed down, kind of like all of that, way more expensive. So, even a show like this, it's nowhere near as, I don't want to say cheap, but it is just, even a show like this is dramatically more expensive to make than it was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But I do think that,
yeah.
And it's not just this show. I think there are other shows out there which I think are slowly helping to build up the sort of drum that people are finally beating of, like, this is what TV should be. This is what we missed of TV. Like Widow's Bay, I started watching recently. It's a new Apple TV show. Yeah, it's really good. But it's not like crazy dramatic sets or action in it. I know from people really like, and from what I've heard, is like fairly I don't want to say simple sets, but
they have one soundstage. I know it for a fact.
Okay.
Which I know for a fact, 'cause I used to work across the street from it. So
yeah. Well, I know they film a bunch of it here, but like I know that's one that people talk about, where it's like I've heard people say it's a bit like Lost, but that it's not that they are filming at like 40 different locations, flying all over the world for this scene and blah blah blah. And I think that the Pitt feels like it's maybe the tip of the spear, with like a bunch of shows behind it that are slowly sort of making these studios realize, hey, we can do more stuff like this, and it will be popular, and it will be successful, and we don't need to make I feel like the worst culprit was what was the Marvel Sam Jackson TV series again, Secret Invasion.
Oh,
where like
man.
that show was something like each episode cost $60 million, and it cost whatever it was, like $400 million for a 6-episode season. And like,
absolutely.
Okay, I've seen people talk about that, where it's, well, if you look at it on a permanent basis, it's still dramatically cheaper than a movie. Sure, but TV shouldn't cost that much, right? No. And also, shows coming out at a good cadence too, right? Talking about this one coming out year over year. What was the one you mentioned at the start again? The John Hamm one?
Oh, Your Friends and Neighbors.
Yes, Your Friends and Neighbors. Again, I know From comes out at a pretty steady pace. I know there's a little bit of a gap between, I think, one or two of the seasons, but otherwise it's they're coming out roughly within 12 months of each other's type thing.
Yeah,
and
good.
It does feel like we're slowly starting to see shows go back to that and stuff, realize like, hey, actually having these 2-3 year gaps between seasons and only a handful of episodes doesn't work. People just kind of forget and don't bother to come back to it.
Based on like the Apple TV sphere, Shrinking is also pretty good for that. So far it's been like a new season each year, which it was going to end this year, but I think they're going to end it next year, something like that. I know that Ted Lasso is getting a new season, and I know there's a huge like a 3-year gap between that, but they weren't going to make a 4th season, and now they are.
But before that, it was a pretty steady clip, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
like 3 years, 3 seasons, kind of thing.
Yeah, so
roughly. I think actually there's a 1 year break between 2 and 3, but that was for circumstances, COVID kind of shit.
Yeah, COVID obviously messed up some stuff too.
Yeah.
I think that's another one. It feels like we're also sort of, well, there was COVID, there was the actors and writers strike stuff and all that.
Yeah, the writers strike.
And certainly that exacerbated, but even beyond that, there's still a lot of stuff, but it definitely feels like we're seeing a bit of a course correction, and I am very happy for it. Just to wrap things up, I will give the disclaimer that I have given to multiple people in real life on this.
Okay.
I think The Pitt is one of the best live action shows in quite a while.
Sure.
Incredible. Love it. Do I recommend it? Only if you're somebody who can handle the just visceral, graphic nature of the medical situations, and also this is an emotionally exhausting show.
Yeah.
If you don't want something that is going to leave you feeling sad, feeling depressed, quite frankly, that is going to leave you at times just angry at the failings of society, then don't watch this show, right? My mother, for example, I do not think would enjoy this show. It is too depressing and too graphic for her.
Knowing what you've told me about your mom, that is surprising.
She tends not to like graphic stuff, and while she doesn't mind violence and gritty stuff, I think this is too depressing. I think she just
fair enough.
She'd be like, I need a little more levity in what I watch than this.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I got you.
But I think for a lot of people, it's a strong recommend. But that also for a lot of people, it's a hey, actually, you are not going to like this. It is a tough watch.
Yeah, this is one of those shows where like I know I really need to watch this one, so at some point I'll just find a way to watch it and go from there. Because like it looks really, really, really good, and I'm not turned off by overly sensitive material like that. I know I have like for instance, I didn't watch Breaking Bad because the first season I was dealing with some shit, and the first season was dealing with the same shit, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna not on that one. The whole cancer thing, I had a feeling we're going through the exact same problem.
I thought it was going to be that you also had a son with mental problems.
No, it was also that I was cooking meth at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was also a science teacher, cooking meth. My RV exploded. There was a whole thing, yeah. And also there was a DEA agent on my ass. I had to but he's also my best friend. It was crazy how similar the situation was. So Anyway,
do them. It sounds like they ripped off your life.
Honestly. Yeah, I should. I should hire a lawyer. So my point is, I should definitely watch The Pitt. It's one of those shows where like I keep meaning to. Everything I've seen about it has just been like, I have to. Especially because I watched a YouTube video about like the mass casualty event that spans like 2 or 3 episodes, and how like the way it was shot and like the aspects of it are very similar to the Helm's Deep fight in the Two Towers in Lord of the Rings. A lot of like similar connotations and the way it kind of moves, and like a lot of that sort of stuff. Nobody's going in the stairs on a shield, of course, but still, that's besides the point.
You don't know that.
You're right. I don't know that. I haven't watched it.
I mean, what? So, Dr. McKay is the daughter of the actor who was Grippa Wormtongue. I'm pretty sure it was.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right then. Maybe she will go in a shield.
Yeah. Maybe she's the Shield Maiden of Rohan.
It's possible. Yeah, you never know. But either way, I watched this one thing, and that got me very interested in what they're doing with that show. Because if you can compare a thing where everybody kind of like hunkers down and like gets this shit done, to one of the I'm just gonna say like probably the greatest battle scene in all of cinema in the last like 30 years is the Helm's Deep fight. It's so well done. Nothing is compared to it, in my opinion. Like I'm sure there are plenty you can point at, like this individual thing this way, but like, overall, it's like damn near perfect. And the fact that the Pit has a scene, or has scenes like that, like a couple of episodes are similarly connotated as that, and work in the same way. Fascinating. Like on a filmmaking level, that's crazy. Yeah, I gotta watch it at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, once I'm done
right.
watching
Your
Friends and Neighbors.
On that note, why don't you tell people where to find us?
Well, you should go to our Blue Sky account, which is at EIFNAR. Go there. Tell us about how much you like the Pit and why you like the Pit and why Pittsburgh as a city is great. I'm sure nobody has any opinions on Pittsburgh at all, besides the fact that it's a fantastic city. I've never been, so I don't know.
Same.
Yeah. You should also go to our Spotify and iTunes pages. Leave a comment if you can, or rate us something. Basically, share the show with your friends. If you're on YouTube, like and or subscribe. Click the button that could make sure. Click buttons down there, or unless they moved it, I don't fucking know what they've done. It's probably I think it's still here, but maybe it's here now. It's a whole.
At some point, they're just gonna. The only way you're gonna be able to do it is you'll have to tell the AI to do it.
Yeah. Type into the chat. Okay, yeah, right. Good point. Type into the AI chat bar that you need to like this video. And maybe it'll do it for you. It'll probably just spew out some nonsense about like what liking a video means and how it's done and why someone would like a video. And then you try and get it to like actually do the thing, and then it just keeps going in circles like that. And then somebody somewhere makes like $10 billion because they've tricked everybody into thinking that this is actually a thing that people want. And have ruined our entire planet doing so. Anyway, our friends at DJDane.com. That's the guy that does our music. DJDane.com. Listen to his great tunes. And I don't know, if you want to just like shoot a show where you follow him for 15 hours of his life each season, hour by hour, that'd be an interesting way to do it. Yeah.
Sure, he won't mind. I'm
sure he won't mind. Anyway, that is it for our show. Tune in next time for another I should have read this beforehand. Udiometrically episode of Everything's Fine is Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Say it.